This single insect can live for over 15 years. Outlive your dog. And build a colony of hundreds of thousands, all starting from one queen, alone, underground. If you've ever found a queen ant after a nuptial flight and wondered, now what do I do with her? This video is your complete beginner's roadmap. By the end, you'll know exactly how to house her, feed her, and help her found a thriving colony without accidentally killing her in the first few weeks, which is where most beginners go wrong. VO. Here's the truth. Nobody tells beginners. The first few months are the most fragile stage of a colony's entire life. Get the humidity wrong, disturb her too much, or feed her incorrectly, and a queen can abandon her eggs or simply not make it. Get it right, and you're looking at years, sometimes decades, of watching a colony grow from one ant into a thriving superorganism. Let's set you up for success. Thermometer/hygrometer graphic overlay on a formicarium. Time-lapse of condensation forming inside a test tube. B-roll of a heat mat under a rack of test tubes with a temp gradient graphic. Close-up of mold forming on a poorly maintained tube as a warning example. Think of this next part like water quality for fish keepers. It's the invisible factor that makes or breaks your setup. Most common ant species do best between 70 and 80 degrees Fahrenheit with a gentle temperature gradient so the queen can move toward or away from heat as needed. Humidity matters just as much. The water side of your test tube should stay consistently moist, but never flooded to prevent your queen from drowning or the chamber turning moldy. Check the tube every few days. If you see mold, it's time to transfer her to a fresh, clean tube immediately. Animated cutaway of airflow moving through a formicarium's mesh vents. Close-up of a keeper using a small tool to remove ant waste, midden pile, from an outworld area. Before/after, clean versus dirty enclosure comparison. Value shopel to reuse stairs, just like a fish tank needs filtration to stay healthy, an ant enclosure needs proper airflow. Stagnant, overly wet conditions.
Imagine holding a tiny creature in your hand that has the power to create an entire empire. One queen ant, thousands of workers, soldiers, and a perfectly organized colony. Sounds unbelievable, right? But this miracle of nature happens every single day. Today, I'm going to show you exactly how to take care of a queen ant, step by step, so you don't accidentally lose the most important ant in the colony. First of all, you need to understand one thing clearly: the queen ant is not just another ant. She is the heart of the colony. If the queen survives, the colony survives. If she dies, everything ends. That's why taking care of her properly from day one is extremely important. Most beginners fail not because they lack interest, but because they rush and make small mistakes that cost the queen her life. When you first catch a queen ant, the biggest mistake people make is overhandling her. A queen ant is already stressed after her nuptial flight. She needs peace, darkness, and safety, not constant checking. The best place for a new queen is a simple test tube setup with clean water and cotton. This setup provides humidity and comfort, just like her natural underground chamber. Keep the test tube in a dark, quiet place where there is no vibration or sudden light. Now let's talk about food, because this is where many people get confused. In the early stage, most queen ants do not need food at all. They survive using the energy stored in their bodies and wing muscles. Feeding her too early can actually cause stress or mold inside the test tube. Patience is the key here. Once the first workers, also called nanitics, are born, then you can start offering tiny drops of honey or sugar water and very small protein sources. Temperature plays a huge role in the queen's health. Queen ants prefer a stable and warm environment, but not extreme heat. Too cold, and egg development slows down. Too hot, and the queen can die. Room temperature is usually perfect. Avoid placing her near windows, fans, or direct sunlight. Remember, in nature, she lives underground where the temperature is stable. Another important factor is moisture and cleanliness. The cotton in the test tube should stay moist but never flooded. Excess water can drown the queen or promote fungus growth. If you notice mold, it's time to carefully move her to a fresh test tube. Always move her gently and calmly. Sudden movements can scare her into dropping or eating her own eggs. As the colony grows, many people get excited and move the queen too early into a big ant farm. This is a big mistake. A queen feels safe in small, tight spaces. Giving her a large area too soon can slow down egg laying. Let the colony grow naturally. Once there are enough workers to explore and manage space, then you can slowly upgrade their home. Finally, the most powerful tool in taking care of a queen ant is patience. Ant keeping is not about fast results. It's about observation and respect for nature. Weeks may pass with no visible progress, and suddenly one day, you'll see tiny workers walking around their queen. That moment makes all the waiting worth it. So if you truly want to take care of a queen ant, remember this: darkness, calm, proper temperature, minimal disturbance, and patience. Do this right, and you won't just be keeping an ant, you'll be witnessing the birth of a living empire.